Foco Studios in Oklahoma City. You're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. It's time for our 5 in 5 segment. 5 topics, a minute each for 5 minutes total. Barry, let's get right to it. Will the Thunder hold off the Spurs?
I'm going to say yes, but it's going to be tight. As we speak, Thunder's only 2.5 games up. Spurs have the tiebreaker, and Spurs have the easier schedule down the stretch.
Yep.
Now, the only thing going for the Thunder is they're playing well, and San Antonio historically is not worried too much about rising in the seedings as long as they're playing well. So I think the Thunder will do it, but it could get tight.
Yeah, and I was more leaning towards yes last couple weeks because the Spurs tend to rest guys, but now I think the Thunder's out of this slump that it looked like they were in a bit. I think they're playing good basketball, and they're going to have some tough games down the stretch. But, Barry, we've talked about this before. It seems like the Thunder in their toughest games are at their best. So I think they're going to play well heading into the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them win the Western Conference. All right, what about this? Has this been a good NCAA tournament?
No, it's stunk. It's terrible.
What do you really think?
No buzzer beaters to speak of, in fact, maybe even not to speak of, and no massive upsets. We had some
seeds. Those are massive upsets.
Well, that's right. Yeah, the second day of the tournament was great with Missouri and Duke. Yeah. But in terms of we've gotten a little spoiled with George Mason and Butler and Virginia Commonwealth
making it all
in
the way
Final
to
Four.
the late. Yeah.
This year we got nothing but blue bloods. Without a great Cinderella story, Ohio, gave it a shot and went to the Sweet 16, but it's not been a great NCAA tournament. The star power in college basketball is lacking anyway. Yeah. It's been a dud NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I haven't been that inspired by it either. Now, I will admit those first couple days had me a little fired up. I thought, maybe a Norfolk State or a Lehigh or somebody like that might, sort of inspire us. But instead you saw Norfolk State come out after that big win and lose big. You just haven't had sort of the staying power of the Cinderella. Which, we want a VCU every year. I know we're not going to get it, but still, when you don't have it, it's not quite as good an NCAA tournament. All right, what about this, Barry? What did you think of baseball's season opener in Tokyo? You stay up to watch that one?
Baseball opened in Tokyo this year? Why was I not informed? No, I thought it was a terrible idea. I don't know if you want to play some games in Tokyo, go take a series after the All-Star break, for instance. Go play Seattle, Oakland. In second week of July. Don't take, the traditional baseball season opener and put it in Tokyo. Now, they've already messed it up. We used to open the season on a Monday in Cincinnati, and it was that way for decade after decade, 60, 70, 80 years. That's gone away. Now we're taking games to Tokyo. Frankly, it's a lot better than taking postseason to Tokyo. Someone's brought, Roger Goodell mentioned that London would be under consideration for Super Bowl 50.
Oh,
so let me tell you what. Do you want to make enemies in America, Roger Goodell? You take the Super Bowl to London. Take the baseball season opener to Tokyo. Little less of a severe crime. Still not a good idea.
Yeah, and you know what? I had to look the other day just to make sure. Did they play it already? Was it overnight this night or overnight tonight? Totally confusing. And baseball opening day, let's be honest. Baseball opening day is one of the best days, and I'm not a big baseball fan. But it's a huge coming together, and it feels great, and people get to go out and enjoy that game. And, you'd had to set your alarm for about 4 a.m. to catch any of this game. It was just a train wreck. I understand expanding the fan base, but come on. Open the baseball season in the U.S. of A. All right.
3 a.m. start in Seattle and Oakland.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. in Seattle and Oakland.
That worked well. Whew. Fantastic. All right, Barry, what about this? How much would you pay to see your favorite team play? I asked this because the Final Four, average ticket price for the semifinal Saturday, $714. The highest ticket, almost $8,000. Barry, what are you going to pay to see your team play?
Well, I need to find a team before I get I'm not all that married to any particular team. I have a problem though, because you want me to pay ever how much money to go sit in a seat that's not all that comfortable around people I don't know and probably I'm not going to be crazy about. And my refrigerator is more than 20 feet from my seat. I share a communal bathroom.
Is this a bad question for you? I'm just going to be honest.
No, it's a good question because of this. I think it's a valid question for this reason. I think we're getting to the point where people do pay outrageous prices for events like this.
Right.
But the
Everyday
vast
tickets?
majority of games, it's getting harder to make people want to go there.
Right.
So I think all of sport needs to look at the paying customer. My primary beef, replays on the big screen.
Yeah.
You know, not going to show controversial replays except once. But if you stay at home and don't pay a cent, you get to see it 30 times.
You can rewind it as much as you want.
So
yeah.
I think that's a problem. We have big tickets. Personally, I wouldn't pay. If I really wanted to see a game, I wouldn't pay more than $50.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay more than $50.
You could, any more than about 100, maybe 150, I might spring for. But people that are paying, essentially mortgage payments or more.
Crazy.
I just don't get it. And to me, it seems ridiculous even for a great game where your team is playing for something huge.
I'll give you an example. Me and the fabulous Trish Babe were in Chicago a few years ago. We took an afternoon, went out to Wrigley Field. She loves Wrigley Field. I like Wrigley Field. We said, we'll go watch a baseball game. Sold out against the Mets. I said, we'll buy one on the street. They wanted $100 for each ticket before the game. I said, no. So we walked around. We were having fun outside in Wrigleyville. Game starts. Some tickets came down to about 75. We get to the third inning. One guy was still selling tickets, still wanted $50 a head. I said, that's a pass, Dr. Fleshman.
All right, lastly, Barry, let's talk about the Thunder a little bit more. Would the Thunder be better off facing the Heat or the Bulls in the NBA Finals? Really juicy question right here.
I don't have a good answer because here's the deal. Both of them will be Dobermans.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to be nothing easy about either one. The Thunder might be better off against the Heat because I think the Thunder would have home court advantage. I think the Thunder's going to finish with a better record.
Yeah.
Would not be the case in Chicago. Yeah. It's going to be easier to score on the Heat. Not easier, but easier.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder to stop the Heat than the Bulls.
Yeah.
I would tend to say the Thunder's better off, though, playing the Heat.
I think so too. And the Bulls, that team defense, the Heat have better one-on-one defenders. LeBron James is as good a defender as you'll find in the NBA because of what he does at his size. He's quick, he's big, he's got those long arms. Everything he does one-on-one is fantastic as a defender. The Bulls, Joakim Noah maybe comes closest in an individual basis, but for the Bulls, it's more about team defense. Tom Thibodeau, you've got Ron Adams there, who Thunder fans know is the defensive guru for the Thunder before he left. They play great team defense. I think you'd rather play a team that's got some good individual defenders than a team that plays great team defense. I think that's where the Thunder needs to hope they could face the Bulls in the NBA Finals. If
the Thunder plays the Bulls, frustration will set in on the Thunder. They might overcome it, but frustration will set in.
Yeah. Play the Heat. Play the Heat. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.